Alright guys, check it out. Mr. Marcus is back, so he's gonna be doing the intro. But I had to get this out of the way. Last night, we had a fun time doing a live stream. We had Non-Mechanic 101 and we had El Pepo. Real names, Hector and Ernesto. Guys, it's really cool. You gotta check their channel out. And if not, check their channel out. Come back on the live stream because we definitely gonna have these guys back up there. We had a conversation last night about people telling you that ain't the way you're supposed to speak. Because a lot of times with me, the way I speak, I get a lot of people, especially black people, say, "Oh man, you act bourgeois and all that," because of the way I speak, like proper, like English, like they don't know what the heck English is about. So we had a little joke about it because I was telling you, look, I'm not street. I ain't gonna pretend I'm street, and I ain't even gonna front on it. But we were gonna joke, and I'm gonna pretend to be on this car. So I don't even know how to do it. I'm gonna have Marcus do it because Marcus can do it better. Right? You Marcus know how to talk street. Yeah. So I'm gonna have Marcus do it. But like, okay, I'm gonna try this, man. I'm gonna try this. All right, Marcus is gonna tell me if I'm doing it wrong. Marcus, right. Yo, check it out, boy. We're gonna get jiggy with this 93 Nissan Altima.
You're on MTV.
What?
Like you're on MTV.
Yo, we ain't gonna front no. We're gonna get this car straight, get it going for the customer. We're gonna get down. All right, I'm gonna have Marcus do it. Cause this is funny. All right, Marcus, you go ahead, man.
What's up? What's good, yo? Today we got a 1993 Nissan Altima. I'm gonna talk like Billy Bob. That's how Billy Bob talk. 1993 Nissan Altima.
All right, guys. We're gonna come back and we're gonna do the proper intro, like we supposed to. We'll be back.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Marcus from Astro Auto Repairs. Can you dig it? Today we got a 1993 Nissan Altima. The customer complaints that it's a light, a small little light with the battery symbol. And so we're going to see, well, it charges the charging
system.
The charging system is not charging, I guess. So we're gonna check it out. We'll be right back.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. We're getting inside the car. Now, if you get inside your car, you're driving around along in this car, actually, and you put the key on, you start the car up. And you look over there, you see that light come on right there? It looks like a little battery, and a lot of times it's accompanied by the brake light. And you can see that's on. And let me get there. You can see that on. That means something's wrong with your charging system. So we're gonna go out here and we're gonna check the charging system, which has to do with the alternator, fuses. We're gonna check all that. We're gonna show you how to check it. All right, we'll be right back.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I have my multimeter. I want to turn it to 60. Most cars supposed to have a voltage of 12.5. Yeah, 12.
What measurement? What supposed to have 12.5?
The battery voltage.
Okay.
Positive to red to the positive, black to the negative. .32. But when we start the car up, it should goes between 13 and 15. Timmy, can you start the car for me, please?
All right, now why is it gonna go that way? Why should it go that way?
Because right now the car is off. But when you cut it on, it's the alternator.
Where's the alternator?
The alternator is right here.
Okay.
When the alternator is on, the voltage should go to 13, between 13 and 15. If it's anything lesser than that, the alternator is not charging.
Okay. All right, let's go out here. charging system. We're gonna set the car off. When we come back, we're gonna check out our charging system. Be right back.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Next thing I want to do is I want to see. Hold on. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Next, I want to try the battery voltage. This little cover right here. This right here goes to the battery. Now I want to try to see the battery voltage. See the voltage.
Yeah, hold the camera. Let me see what you can do.
Now, if this reads low, that means
if we read, go ahead. If we read now on this, you're going to read either nothing or battery voltage. So if you read nothing,
it's the wire. It's something wrong with the wire, or
now what you told them where that wire is going.
Yeah, it goes to the battery.
Okay. Now that goes to the battery, or there could be a fuse in line. So right now it's got battery voltage. What does that mean?
It means that the wire is good.
Okay.
The problem could be that.
Don't worry about that, man. We just know the wire is good. We're gonna check other things now. All right, we'll be right back. All right, the next thing we're gonna do, let's put our cover back on here. Pull that up. So right now we know that's good. The next thing we're gonna do is unplug our alternator. Now if you come on the other side, let me show you how to unplug this. On our alternator, you got a little tab right there. That tab has to be pushed in, and then we're gonna pick up on the plug. All right, the next thing we're gonna do is look at the plug inside. Let's see if we can get a, how we come over this side and see. Now what we're looking at is looking at the terminals on the inside. We want to make sure those terminals are not pushed down into the plug, because if they are, that means that it's not making a good connection on the alternator, which means it will cause it to not start. And they both look like they're pretty much up there, which is good. The next thing we're going to do, on the wiring on this, one wire, looks like a white with a red line or something. It might be yellow. Depends on, yeah, if you pull this back, it looks like yellow with a red line. That's going to our charging indicator. The other one right here is going to a 10 amp fuse. Now what we're going to do is check battery voltage at this wire right here. We should get battery voltage. So, cut our multimeter on. Black to a ground. And let's see here. You see that? Mm-hmm. Alright, and my red, I'm gonna go and touch that the white wire, and we got battery voltage, which is good. If you didn't have battery voltage up there, now I'm not sure of all cars, but on this one, you come over this side, next to the battery is a little fuse panel. You see the alternator S fuse? You would check that fuse, 10 amp fuse, pop the cover off, it'll be the fuse right there. So if I didn't have battery voltage, I would have checked that fuse right there. But we do. Now if you notice that alternator, guys, if you look at that alternator looks like it hasn't been changed. It's been changed not too long ago. I mean, it looks pretty clean. But what I did notice is a little oil right in here. If you got an oil leak on your alternator, it will kill it instantly. Now how would the oil get over here? I have no idea, because there's nothing over here. Maybe somebody spilled something or something, but it does look like a little oil got it in. That's very little. No. Look right here, guys. Look right here. Look at all that oil. So, wow, that's a lot of oil. And what's sad about this is where the heck this oil is coming from, unless we got a leak and it's traveling along the belt. And if you look over here, down in here, it looks really oily down there. Wow. It looks really oily. So it's been traveling along the belt. So he's got to get that oil leak fixed before that alternator is changed. But what we're going to do first, before we want to make sure, Because if your alternator is not getting a good ground, even though you think the car's getting a good ground, if it's not getting a good ground, it will not charge. So what we're going to do is plug this back up. Everything's plugged up. We're going to take a pair of jumping cables. Get you, Sarah, a nice set of jumping cables. And what you want to do here is take the ground, hook it on ground to the battery, just like that. And the other ground, you want to try your best to hit it on the alternator. Not on the engine, nowhere. You want to try to get right on the alternator. Right about just like that. So now we know positively, and trust me, I have seen times that even though you've seen the ground wire hooked up to the battery and all going to the body, it'd be a bad ground and the alternator is not charging. So this is a nice quick way of doing it. Hook up a ground direct that you know is good. And now we're going to start the car up. And I'm going to have Marcus check the voltage again. So there you go, Marcus. And I'll take the camera. And what you're going to do is check it now at the alternator. I mean at the battery. And then what you want to do is after you check it at the battery and see what the voltage is, if the voltage is good, then we know, okay, we know we got a bad ground. But if it's not, keep the positive on, take the ground off of the multimeter, and just touch it to the side of the alternator.
Alright.
Marcus said, what did he say? I don't know, what the heck, man. I don't think I saw is blah, 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 blah. All right, ready?
Yep.
All right, our light's still on, so. All right. Okay, you can try it that way. Red, any metal part of the alternator. Okay, 1184, that means it's not charging. That means we got a bad alternator. All right, so I'm gonna shut this off. So we know he's got a bad alternator. We know there's no short. We know everything is good and everything. What we have here is a problem. He's got to get this oil fixed. And I don't know. A lot of you guys might have noticed that you went to AutoZone. You probably worked on somebody's car when you went to change the alternator. They told you, nope, I'm not guaranteeing it. When they see that oil all on that alternator like that. That's a lot of oil. And it's been coming all down there, man. And what happens, the oil gets in that alternator and starts shortening it out. Dang, so we got to jack this up and see all that, get all that fixed. Dang it. All right, Marcus, what's going on? What's going on? Why the alternator bad?
I guess because I guess it's because
What do you mean you guess? What do you mean?
It could be
What do you mean you could be? What do you mean?
Yeah, well,
I just told you, man.
oil is leaking, so we want to see why is the oil leaking. And
What do you mean, why is the oil leaking? Why is the alternator bad? I just talked to Marcus, man.
Oh, because I'm saying, if the oil is leaking, we got to see why is the oil is leaking. So we're going to jack the car up and go under.
No, I ain't doing that now.
So
but no. Why is the alternator bad? Because it got oil in it. Because it's shorted out, man.
See, I was going the right way.
What you mean you going the right way? You didn't tell me nothing. Oh, God.
I was going the right direction.
Okay, go ahead. Okay. Why is the alternator bad?
Because oil going into it.
And how's it all going into it?
From the belt. It could be traveling from the belt to the alternator. Or it could just be leaking from a mysterious place. So we want to.
We know it's leaking. We know for a fact that it's coming from the belt somewhere. We know it's traveling from the belt down in the engine. It's not leaking nowhere else because there's nothing else over here to get oil into the alternator. So we know it's coming from down there. We know it's traveling, and this is positive fact. We know it's traveling along the belt, coming up to the front of the alternator, going into the alternator, and shorting the alternator out. That's what we got. Always sound confident. Always be, positive about your answer. Because the customers do not like to hear, well, it could be. Or maybe. They need to know. All right, we'll be right back. There you go.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, and that's how you check the battery. That's how you check the voltage.
Charging system.
The charging system for the alternator and the battery. It seems oil is going up from the belt to the alternator. If he changed the alternator, he's still gonna have the same problem until when the oil reach up to the alternator, to the new alternator. It will happen again. It will short the alternator right back out. So what he wants to do is he want to find where the oil is leaking from and just stop it. If not, he would have the same problem once again. Our Marcus from Esther. Oh, any questions or comments, please leave them below or contact Tim at EstherAutoRepairs.com. I'm Marcus from Esther Auto Repairs. If we can't repair it, nobody can.
Now, how about giving them a little example in case people don't know what's going on? Give them the example like the phone in the water.
For example, like if you drop your phone into the water, if you drop your phone into the water, how can I put it?
It's shorts.
Yeah, it will shorts out because there's be behind me. It shorts out because the water is going through the cracks and stuff like that.
And getting into all the electrical components.
Getting all to the electrical components.
Okay.
So that if you
relax, man. You know what to say.
I know what I'm saying. I'm trying to put it in the easier, easier turn. All right, so if you drop your phone,
how you gonna drop water?
if you drop your phone into some water,
okay,
it was short. Your screen was shorted out because like it's cords and stuff inside under the screen, so that when the water comes up, it just shortens out. But if you get the water out and change the screen, you'll be perfectly fine. That's a good example.
Yeah. Or better yet, how about this? Check it out. Say if you love to swim, you love to go into the lake, you love to swim a lot. Problem is, you're always keeping your phone in your pocket. So you jump in the lake, you're swimming, your phone shorts out because the phone gets all the water into it, and it shorts out. So you say, okay, fine. Go on Amazon or whatever, get you a new screen, put it back in, everything's fine. But if you still gonna put your phone in your pocket and jump into the lake, it's gonna happen again until you stop going into the lake. So you got to fix that problem with yourself. You gotta stop introducing those variables to that phone. And that's the same thing here. We can put an alternator in there and the alternator is going to charge with no problem at all. And it might last for about a month or 2 months. As you can see, this one's pretty old, pretty new. But that oil will constantly go inside that alternator and it's going to short it out again. So you got to get that underlying problem fixed first. And this is a lot of problem for a lot of customers understanding what mechanics are saying sometimes, because the mechanic is saying, well, we got to get this oil fixed and then we can replace the alternator. What do you mean? What I got to do with the alternator? Just change my alternator and keep it going. Then you want to complain later on when the alternator goes bad again. So you now to get a better understanding of that. Oh, you did you said the ending already.
I said the ending.
Oh, all right.
See you later on.